Hey, One Piece fans, you know we all love a good ship, right? So, after the Straw Hats wrap up their journey around the Grand Line, who's everyone settling down with? The adventure's over, they've found the One Piece, and now it's time to head home. But on the way, they might just find the love of their lives. And of course, Sanji already has marriage plans. Or should I say marriages? Yeah, our guy's shooting for 2 brides. To celebrate finding the All Blue, Sanji proposes to both Nami and Robin at the same time. Bold move, right? Unfortunately, they're both like, nah, we're good. They love his cooking, sure, but the nosebleeds, total deal breaker. But don't worry, Sanji's not out of options yet. The most romantic member of the crew won't give up that easily. Remember Viola from Dressrosa? They really hit it off back there, right? So Sanji's thinking maybe the island of love and passion is where he'll find his soulmate. But nope, turns out she's already tied the knot. She's in a political marriage with one of the Fishman Island princes. And honestly, the guy's pretty into the fact that she can cry whales. Weird flex, but okay. Speaking of Fishman Island, Sanji gets an idea. He's like, I'll just marry a beautiful mermaid. Sounds perfect, right? Wrong. As soon as they get to Fishman Island, our boy almost dies from another terminal nosebleed. Like, come on Sanji, get it together. But hey, love is still in the air. Jinbei ends up with a beautiful shark lady named Shiali. She even reads his fortune and says they'll be together forever. That's adorable. Sure, Jinbei and her half-brother Arlong didn't exactly get along, what with the whole being evil thing, but whatever, bygones are bygones. Now quick sidebar, some people on the internet actually ship Luffy with Shirahoshi. Just, no. She's 16, y'all. That's a no-go. Same with Bonnie. No creepy ships here, people. Let's keep it realistic, okay? Alright, let's get back to finding some real love connections. By this point, Sanji's convinced he's just gonna die alone. Poor guy. So, to cheer him up, the crew heads over to Wano to catch up with some old friends. Of course, Sanji's got the Pleasure District on his mind. Classic. But things take a weird turn when Wano's most beautiful woman, Hiyori, throws herself at, Zoro. Yep, you heard that right. Hiyori's literally begging Zoro to marry her, and Sanji is mortified. How does Zoro, of all people, have better luck with women than him? Sanji tries to jump in and says, marry me instead. But Hiyori's just like, wait, the sober guy. You, no thanks. Ouch. Sanji's crushed, especially when Zoro, the #1 heartbreaker in One Piece, isn't even interested in Hiyori. But hey, maybe there's still hope with Yamato, right? Nope. Yamato shows up with their new boyfriend, Katakuri. Yep, that Katakuri. Kaido and Big Mom were allies, so it kinda makes sense their kids would hit it off. Talk about a power couple. At this point, Sanji's pretty sure he's cursed to die alone. But then, as he looks out at the skull of Onigashima, something clicks. He remembers the moments he shared with Zoro back in the day, bandaging him up, taking care of his wounds. Could this be love? Nah, no way. He hates that mosshead, right? Meanwhile, Brook takes a pilgrimage to the top of Mount Fuji. He fears his time for love has passed. I mean, he's a skeleton, right? Who'd want to date a skeleton? Tough break for the Soul King. No soulmate in sight. But just as he's staring down into the hot, bubbling lava, he remembers that one night he spent with Big Mom. Yeah, Big Mom, the one that got away. But hey, at least Big Mom and Kaido ended things on the right note, right? Well, if you consider Together in the Grave a happy ending, honestly, they would have been a great couple if they weren't, dead. Now, moving on. Sanji. All hope's not lost for our boy Sanji. He's still searching for love. There are tons of islands out there, plenty of fish in the sea, or islands, whatever. Next stop, Zoo. But here's the kicker. No one on Zoo really wants to settle down with a regular human guy like Sanji. Tough crowd. But Chopper? Oh man. Chopper is drowning in the Garcus. The little guy might even end up with Carrot and rule Zoo. But nope, Chopper's all about Milky. Yup, Milky. The cute reindeer babe who's totally stolen his heart. I gotta say, Chopper and Milky are a perfect match. I mean, Carrot calls him Big Bro, so they're clearly in the friend zone. But with Milky, Chopper's straight-up heart eyes like Sanji. It's love at first sight. And poor Sanji's over here thinking, even the youngest crew members got someone, and I'm still all alone, forever. And then there's Luffy, watching his pal Sanji mope around. After rubbing his 2 brain cells together for a while, Luffy finally comes up with an idea. Let's go visit Sanji's family. Yeah, because in Luffy's tiny brain, he figures maybe Sanji's dad can hook him up with a girl or something. So they head off to the Germa Kingdom, but as soon as they get there, Sanji's mental health goes boom. His sister, Reiju, is hitting on Luffy. Yup, turns out she's still thinking about that kiss back on Whole Cake Island, where she sucked the poison out of him. Talk about awkward. She even proposes to Luffy, offering him the keys to the Germa Kingdom and a spot as Sanji's brother-in-law. But hold up, despite Reiju's killer looks, Luffy shuts her down, saying he's got someone else in mind. What? The crew, and all of us, are totally shocked. Who could Luffy possibly be into? The guys never even seemed interested in romance. Maybe we'll find out when they hit Alabasta. But first, a quick pit stop at Tim Burton Land. Just kidding. It's where Zoro's off to see Mihawk. Oh, and he also rejects Perona, who totally has a crush on him after the time skip. Poor Perona. Zoro just isn't into the whole goth girlfriend thing. Too annoying, apparently. Sorry, Perona, but maybe there's a punk rocker out there for you. My money's on Bartolomeo. Punks and goths go together like peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, back to Alabasta. So Luffy wants to see Vivi. Everyone's thinking it's a love connection, right? Pirate King and Pirate Queen, plus Vivi's literally a queen. Seems perfect. Maybe they're even destined to be, like Joy Boy and Nefertari Lily way back when. But nah, turns out Luffy just wants to say hi. Classic Luffy move. So now the question is, who's gonna end up with Vivi? Could it be her childhood friend? Koza? Nope. It's Nami. Yeah, that's right. Alabasta doesn't need a king. It needs two queens. This is one of those fanships that's been around forever. I mean, just rewatch the Alabasta saga and tell me Nami and Vivi aren't totally in love. The only tricky part is telling them apart when they're drawn in black and white. I might have upset a few of you who are rooting for Luffy and Nami to get together, huh? Well, I gotta tell you, that's kinda ridiculous. The crew is like family, and dating within the crew? Nah, that's just not happening. Luffy and Nami have never shown any romantic feelings for each other. The only reason some people think they should end up together is that classic main guy and main girl thing. But let's be real, there's just nothing there. Oh, and while we're on the subject, let's remember something important. Oda, the genius behind One Piece, has openly said that romance isn't his thing when it comes to the crew. Yeah, in a world where the first chapter is called Romance Dawn, there's shockingly little actual romance happening. But hey, shippers are gonna ship, and I know some of you are super into pairings, so I've got another ship in mind for Luffy. Just hear me out. Some of you might be saying, come on, we can have at least one crew-on-crew relationship, right? Well, I hear you. Take Frankie and Robin, for example. They're kinda like the fun aunt and uncle of the group. They've got amazing chemistry, they're both smart as heck, and hey, I get why people ship them. But sorry to burst that bubble too. Frankie asks her out. She's flattered. But guess what? Robin has actually been secretly dating Law since the Wano arc. Yup, they're both so low-key about it that no one even noticed. Kinda like how Robin never bothered to tell Luffy that she was chilling with his dad and his long-lost childhood friend for 2 years. Wild, right? But honestly, Law and Robin, they're perfect for each other. They both have that shared goal of uncovering the secrets of the poneglyphs, and let's face it, what's more important in One Piece than dreams? Plus, their whole too cool for school vibe works. Law's into Robin's dark, twisted humour, and Robin thinks it's adorable that Law's a total nerd who secretly loves comic books. And of course, they've got their animal buddies, Beppo and Chopper, so it's a match made in the Grand Line. Now, if Frankie isn't with Robin, who's he gonna end up with? Well, let me introduce you to his new love interest, Vegapunk Lilith, the science-loving lady who's going to teach Frankie all about love and robotics. It's the romance we didn't know we needed. And poor Sanji, the guy's surrounded by couples and he's seriously bummed out. So what does he do? He turns to the one person who's always been there for him, his real dad. And no, not Judge. I'm talking about Zeph. The crew makes a quick pit stop at the Baratie, and Sanji gets to drown his sorrows in some delicious food. But the real kicker? Even Usopp is getting married before Sanji. That's right, the guy with zero riz is tying the knot with Kaya back in Syrup Village. Sanji's officially been outdone. Tough break, my guy. But hey, Usopp's been loyal to Kaya, his childhood friend from Syrup Village, and he actually came back home to her, unlike his dad. Not only does he get the girl, but he's now married into a fortune. And knowing Usopp, he'll probably blow it all on wacky inventions and goofy art projects. He's also likely to be the most hilarious dad ever, even though he never had a dad around himself. And speaking of marriages, over in Logetown, Zoro, yes, the guy who literally can't find his way out of a paper bag, has a big moment of his own. He's finally proposing to Tashigi, but of course, he gets lost on his way there. On the bright side, he accidentally stumbles upon Buggy and Alvida having a wine-soaked honeymoon at Roger's execution platform, reminiscing about their pirate glory days. Eventually, though, Zoro makes it to the marine base, where Tashigi assumes he's there for a duel. But nope, he gets down on one knee and pops the question. For Zoro, there's been a ton of people after his heart, but Tashigi is perfect for him. Why? Because she's just as obsessed with swords as he is. They finally get hitched, and Zoro starts seeing her as her own person, not as some stand-in for Quina. They bond over their shared sword passion, and it's a match made in heaven. Or more accurately, a match made in a sword shop. Now, Smoker? He's not too thrilled about his comrade getting hitched to a straw hat, but his new wife, Hina, talks him down. Crisis averted. Meanwhile, poor Sanji. He's watched everyone else find love, and now he's convinced there's no hope left for him. He's travelled the Grand Line, found the legendary All Blue, and still, nothing. No love on the horizon. Every woman he's ever met has rejected him, and even though people keep telling him there are plenty of fish in the sea, Sanji's like, yeah, I've literally seen them all. But then, Luffy has a lightbulb moment. Sanji, dude, have you tried Amazon Lily? It's an island full of women. Sanji is instantly hopeful until he gets there, and well, let's just say he loses a lot of blood from all the nosebleeds. But the real kicker, the most beautiful woman in the world, Boa Hancock, throws herself at Luffy, not Sanji. And to everyone's surprise, Luffy actually says yes. What finally won Luffy over? Simple. She promised him an endless supply of meat. That's the real way to his heart. So, what about Sanji? Just when he's about to give up for good, Katakuri calls the crew and gives him some advice. Hey man, why don't you just get back with my sister Pudding? She's totally into you. Sanji's confused at first, but then Pudding restores his memories of their steamy kiss, and everything comes rushing back. He's totally smitten with her again, staring into her 3 beautiful eyes. Unlike his usual flings, Sanji and Pudding bond over something deeper, their shared love for cooking. And what better way to seal the deal than by making their own wedding cake? Yup, they bake it together, eat it together, and live happily ever after. But it's not all about love. There's so much more happening after Luffy becomes Pirate King. Nami's still working on finishing her world map. Usopp's becoming the brave warrior of the sea he always dreamed of. And the crew keeps on adventuring. So, where does this leave Sanji? He may have travelled the world and found the All Blue, but in the end, he also found something even more precious, a partner who truly gets him. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more crazy One Piece theories and discussions. And I'll see you in the next one.